before we start to ice it is I actually want to cut off the excess cake board. You want the cake board to be nice and even with the cake. And get your standard buttercream. I always like to start on the top of the cake. So put a little bit on the top and then start to push it over and down the sides. It's just easier to do that than to try to just put the icing right on the side, because usually what happens is it falls right on the turntable. Okay, see, I'm just keep pushing more of that buttercream that was on top over. Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more. So I'll just put it right by the edge. Let's see how that pushes down, pushes over. It's just much easier to ice your cake that way. Much easier. Now the only thing, if you do end up using red buttercream instead of covering it with red fondant, you have to think about your guests eating the cake. Okay? All that red buttercream, first of all, it could stain. Usually at a barbecue, though, it's probably going to be outside, so that's not that big of a deal. But you have to think if you want all your guests running around with red mouths. So, you have a customer that orders that and they want the red buttercream or black, you need to tell them that's going to happen. Just so they can't come back and say, why were all our mouths red or black? Now I'm going to take this scraper and go around. So see how I'm just keeping the scraper one spot and I'm letting the turntable actually do the work. Now I'll go from the outer edge in. Now we go ahead and pick up one of our little pieces of the acetate and start right here. So I'm just, again, turning the cake stand, keeping this cupped and just turning. And I like to also go in a little bit down here at the bottom edge, because these barbecues are usually a little bit more round. It's just you can't make it too round or your cake will kind of topple, kind of rock back and forth. So you want to be a little bit more conservative. I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and take this down here at the base and come up a bit. Okay, and see how that makes it be a little bit more round at the base. Take off the excess icing when you get too much. It's okay if you take too much off, just put a little bit more on. It's not the end of the world. And we'll go around one more time this way, and one more time up here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and pop this in the freezer, let it set up a little bit. That way when we pull it out, we can smooth it out even more.